Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. We will now call this meeting to order. It is 5:00 p.m. A quorum has been established, at least visually. I'm going to let everybody check roll, and starting with Commissioner District 1.
DeAndre Knoxon, District 1.
Keith Love, District 2.
Thelma Bowie, Commissioner at Large.
Dedrick Johnson, Mayor.
Abel Garza, Commissioner at Large.
Chris Sharp, District 3.
Jamie Clark, District 4.
All right, we have a full commission present, and at this time we will have the invocation. We are happy to have with us for the invocation Father Clint Ressler, pastor of St. Mary of the Miraculous Meadow Catholic Church. And following that, we will have our pledges led to us by Commissioner Garza.
So I invite you to join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we gather here today with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our community. You are the source of the gifts we have received, and it is you we seek to glorify in returning them through serving our brothers and sisters. We ask your guidance and wisdom as we deliberate on matters before us. Grant us the clarity to make decisions that are just and beneficial for all our citizens. Help us to listen with open hearts and minds, to respect each other's perspectives, and to work together in harmony. May our actions reflect integrity, compassion, and a commitment to the common good. We ask you to bless our city, its leaders, and its residents. May we strive to create a community where everyone can thrive in peace and prosperity. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you, Father Clint. Thank you very much for the invocation. And if there's anything you would like, he's having a comment.
Father Clint.
Father.
Pastor Clint, if you have any announcements you'd like to share with the citizens about the things going on at St. Mary's, you certainly can do that at this time. Thank you for your invitation.
Yeah, thank you. There's so many things I would like to point to in our parish community, but most of all, I think it's a dedication to listening to one another and trying to be attentive to the Holy Spirit being spoken through our people, to really believe that God is at work in the people themselves. He doesn't just speak through the pastor. And so listening to one another is an essential part of understanding his will for us. And I just share that message with everyone else. I know you would probably agree with those sentiments. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so very much for your invitation. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Father.
All right. At this time, we're up to proclamations and presentations. We have a special award that will be presented by our fire chief, Chief Dennis Harris.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Commissioners and Mayor and community. I'd like to call Mr. Sean Harper up and Assistant Chief Matt Wyatt. So we're presenting him with the EMS Excellence Award. Mr. Harper responded to 611 EMS calls and 420 transports, so that he is number one in the department for the year 2024. So I would like to everybody join in a huge thank you for Mr. Harper's commitment in responding. We are very happy and proud of this young man. He's done a great job since he's been here. He is one of the leaders in the department. His crew is back there, his captain is back there, his battalion chief. They're all here to support him. And we just want to let you know, Mr. Harper, those kind of efforts do not go unnoticed. And the amount of time he spent in the back of that ambulance with patients, many of them sick, many of them, really needing his help, we definitely appreciate that. And this is his trophy that he will be able to go around the station and brag.
I just want to say thank you. I'm extremely honored to receive this award and for the opportunity to have worked with Texas City and to have worked alongside each and every member of this department and the members of this community. Thank you.
Did you have any special guests you'd like to introduce? Harper? Did you have?
Hi, Olivia.
Miss Olivia, thank you for being here with him. We're going to get him straight in the future. We'll fix that for you. All right. Thank you very much and congratulations. We're up to reports. We have two very important annual reports that we try to give here in the city of Texas City as required. And the racial profiling report for the calendar year 2024. And then we have a crime statistics report also for the calendar year 2024. Here to give those reports is Assistant Chief Manuel Johnson.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commission.
Good afternoon.
All right, so this is the 2024 Racial Profile Report. This information is compiled from the Texas City Police Department's record management system, and it runs from January 1 through December 31 of 2024. We also use the census information from the government census. Based on the census, our population estimates July 1st, 2021 was at 54,000, and this is going to be the breakup of our community by race and ethnicity. The chart here shows the total number of stops. This includes traffic stops, pedestrian stops, and cyclist stops. So the number for 2024, the males were 9,800, the female was 4,700. This is a breakdown of the race or ethnicity of those that were stopped by the police department. This is part of the mandatory racial profile card statistic information and asking was the race of the person stopped known prior to the traffic stop or pedestrian stop. This is the reason for the stop. You can see most traffic stops are based on some type of vehicle violation or moving violation. A breakdown of the location of the stops. The majority of stops happen on a roadway, whether it's a city street, a U.S. highway, like Farm to Market Road. This information here is whether or not a search was conducted by the officer during the stop. These are searches conducted by race. And then the reasons for the search, whether it be consent, probable cause, incident to arrest. The 2024 numbers of whether or not contraband was discovered. And then a breakdown of the types of contraband that was recovered by the officers if contraband was discovered. the contraband hits by race. And then the results incident of the stop. From the self-initiated stops, there were a total of 706 arrests. The majority are going to be for outstanding warrants, and then the violation of law or violation of traffic law is pretty close. The arrest by race, and then whether or not physical force was used during the traffic stop. Texas City PD received no complaint alleging racial or biased based profiling during this reporting period. Do you have any questions about the 2024 report?
Commissioners, anybody have any questions of Assistant Chief Johnson?
A lot of activity.
What would be an example of other contraband?
Contraband could be narcotics. It could be a type of weapon. It could be an open alcohol container. Anything that is illegal. Contraband could even be, parts from catalytic converters and other precious metals. So stolen property.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It could be tools too, right?
Yes, sir. The tools used, burglary tools, are considered contraband as well.
Can you go back to the screen that had the total arrests, 706 or something like that throughout the year? Where does the bulk of these are outstanding warrants? Where does this? It actually looks kind of low. Total arrests. It's about 2 arrests per day.
Yes, sir.
If I'm correct. Where is that rate with previous years or what we usually do?
It's quite a bit lower than
Quite a
the
bit lower?
previous year.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And these arrests are based off of the self-initiated stops. So
Right.
it doesn't include, say, shoplifting or
Yeah.
you get called to an assault, things of that nature. It's based strictly on the stops.
This entire report you gave was based on traffic stops,
Yes, sir.
not a domestic violence call or anything like that.
Right.
Right, okay. Any other questions, Commissioners? Thank you for that racial profiling report. And next, we're going to have a report on crime statistics in 2024.
Okay. So very similarly, instead of using the record management system for in-house data, this is the information that is required by the federal government to be reported nationally. It's referred to as NIBRS. So the information here is going to be through the same time period, but from the reporting of the national system. So this shows the total calls for service for the year 2024. And it's roughly a 60-40 split between citizen calls and officer initiated. I may have just made it smaller, trying to move it. Sorry about that. This is a breakdown over the last 4 years, the total crimes committed in the city. So there's been a drop off since 2023. This chart here divides up the different types of calls, the different types of crimes that are reported. It gives you a number, for instance, on the homicide screen, it shows there were 3 homicides in 2024. It accounts for 0%. So each box that you're looking at, it gives you a number and a percentage where it's broken up. Last year's homicides from CID that were investigated, 2 were cleared by arrest. The other was exceptionally cleared. and it was due to the death of an offender, so that one couldn't be investigated. This screen here shows the violent crime comparison over the last 3-year period. The homicides, robbery, sexual assault, aggravated assault, those are the 4 primary areas that NIBRS calculates as violent crime. The homicide rates over the last 3-year period. The amount of robberies that were reported over the last 3 years. Sexual assaults reported since 2021. And then these are going to be all the other assaults that are not considered aggravated assault. NIBRS takes simple assault, assault causing bodily injury, things of that nature, and they put it into a separate category because it's not considered a violent crime.
So should this slide say non-aggravated and simple? Or
Yes, or non-aggravated and simple. The burglaries that were reported, this will include your residential, your businesses, buildings, things of that nature. This is going to be burglar of motor vehicles. And one of the conversations that we've recently had when we were getting the information together to request the grant for the catalytic converter grant that we were approved for last year was when the burglary numbers started going up, it was more of parts attached to vehicles, not so much like opening the door and rummaging through vehicles. So things like the converters, batteries, other attached things to vehicles or construction equipment, things of that nature. This is the number for the other thefts. This is all of our frauds, our forgeries. When your elderly is taken advantage of and they use their credit card information or they get their check information, things like that. And then the actual motor vehicle itself theft, where the entire vehicles are taken.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, do y'all have any questions on the crime statistics report for 2024?
Thank you, Manuel.
What's the difference between a robbery and a burglary?
A robbery is when you rob a person, you use force, or you use a weapon, you use intimidation. Yes, a burglary is when you take property from a building, a vehicle, things like that.
Is there any information or data on cases that have been solved from like robberies and burglaries or even the homicides?
Yes, sir. That is something that we're able to get. So it's Jennifer Laird here. I don't know if they're ready to announce yet, but we have a podcast that's coming that's going to put a lot of that information out very soon. That's working with our criminal investigation division. So,
Thank you.
no problem. Any other questions, sir?
No, thank you for the report.
Thank you, Manuel.
Some of these numbers are good, some of them are not so good, but I appreciate all the work Texas City PD does. These are biggest one of my concern is the homicide rate continues to decline. And
Yes, sir.
so that's something that's good, and obviously one homicide is too many, but when we can minimize those numbers, that's a good thing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're up to public comments. Public has a right to speak on items that are on the agenda. We have had a few people who have signed up to speak on those agenda items. First up, we have Mr. Matthew Daniels, wishes to speak on a consent item 2025-13. Commissioners, we're going to be considering and taking action authorizing to repair services for 3 splash pads in the park. That's what Mr. Daniels wishes to speak on.
Although I was blessed by the Creator of the heavens and earth with an extremely vivid imagination, I never once foresaw a series of events unfolding that would culminate in our city commission meetings becoming so volatile, unhinged, anti-constitution, and authoritarian that I would be forced out of sheer necessity in an overwhelming drive caused by my instincts of self-preservation to begin my 3-minute comments with a disclaimer. Let the record reflect my comments tonight are in reference to resolution number 2025-013, and I am definitely not speaking about how our mayor has unilaterally banned any comments on things which are not listed on the current agenda. You can put all handcuffs away, officers, I see. Excuse me, sir. This is disgusting. I need you to. Is this cutting into my time? Yes, it is. I have the authority to do. Do I still have my 3 minutes, though? Sure. I'll let you speak on the agenda. I'm speaking on the agenda items, and I'm taking the opportunity to make a disclaimer so there will be no confusion what I'm speaking about. Because I do not want to be tased, I don't want to be maced, I don't want to be beat, I don't want to be arrested. So I'm taking the opportunity with my 3 minutes to give a disclaimer. You need to get to the item that you are going to speak with. Okay. That's your first one. Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What words am I allowed to use? As a nation to celebrate National Black History Month and how the African American community was able to use their voice in the face of overwhelming odds and legalized oppression to rise up. Brother, I'm talking about resolution 2025-013.
You're absolutely not.
How do you know that?
You may have a seat.
How do you know that? I already gave a disclaimer. I said what I'm talking about. But so you telling me I can't talk about the agenda item that I want to talk about? I can't use my own words to express myself. It's only a select group of words that I can use. Let me ask one more question. Can you please provide me with a
All right, at this particular time, let me remind everybody that the citizens have a right to speak about comments that are on the agenda. It's on the public form that you signed. If you ask to speak on the agenda, it's on the form that you signed. It is a part of our city charter. It is a part of the Government Code, Texas Open Meetings Act, 551.007. You have up to 3 minutes to speak on anything that's considered on the agenda. Okay, anybody who can't do that, I'll ask you kindly to get refocused on that agenda item that you signed up to speak about. And if we don't do that, we're not about to play these games in this meeting. It's not about to happen. So I appreciate everybody in here adhering to that. Next, we have Mr. Brian Gutches, who has signed up to speak on two particular items of the agenda. Only one of those is eligible for you to speak with, sir. It's item E, Homeland Security portion.
So the one on the mayor's comments is being denied? It's on the agenda,
Okay,
and that's where I'd like to start. If,
so let me.
it's number
see.
10 right here, mayor's comment.
You're only allowed to speak on the items of the agenda where the consideration is being held by the commission. Where the commissioners are considering an item on the agenda, you can speak on any of those things. You can speak for it, you can speak against it, you can tell us if you like it or if you hate it, but only the items up for consideration on the agenda.
I am going to speak against the mayor's comment.
That item is not for consideration. Did you get that part?
Is it, what is it then? It's on the agenda.
Everything on the agenda begins with a phrase. It says, consider and take action. If it starts with the word consider, that means we're going to consider it. If it doesn't begin with the phrase consider, that means we're not voting on that. It's just a part of the agenda.
Could you show me?
Now, I can give you Agenda 101 later, but right now, you're authorized to speak on Section E, and I'm waiting on your comments. Your time begins now.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. And it isn't fair, Mayor. It's not fair at all. I'd like to talk about the unarmored vehicle for the police department. Being a former policeman, yes, we need it. It's a necessity. But the question is, we have one already. It may be antiquated, but why is it antiquated? The questions we need y'all to ask as a city council is, what is the condition of our SWAT team? How many officers are on it? How many were on it?
Section E talks about a grant application, not the SWAT team. I need you to stick to the items on the
It takes
agenda.
a SWAT team to run an armored vehicle. It has to have someone to be able to maintain it, to operate it. They have to be qualified. At least it was that way when I was there. But we had ample officers that volunteered to work with an armored vehicle. It all goes one-to-one. The next is one of the, 10, lost my train of thought. But I'll finish it with this, and you can tell me to sit down.
Well, as a former police officer, I think you know the importance of abiding by the law, and so I respect the fact that you respect our wish to abide by the
And
law.
I'll respect that if you respect a traffic stop where an officer granted one of y'all not to write a ticket, and he used his discretion, just like everybody up here can.
You can have a seat now. Thank
The
you.
same thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we're looking into that.
All right. At this time, we will have a third person who has requested to speak, and I'm not calling that person up because that also doesn't qualify for what we are to speak with. So at this time, we will move on to the consent agenda. Commissioners, you have before you items on the consent agenda for your consideration, 7A through D. If there are any of those you would like pulled for further discussion, you can do so at this time.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
The consent agenda has been made to approve items 7A through D by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Commissioner Thelma Bowie. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We're up to the regular items on the agenda. Regular item 8A, consider and take action on resolution number 2025-15, authorizing a contract with Brazos Urethane for the Showboat Pavilion roof replacement and exterior repairs. We hear from Mr. Jack Harrelson of Public Works.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. We had 5 bids that came in on this bid, Mayor, and we had 3 that were within a rock's throw of each other. So we had to kind of consider other items, but we found that Brazos Urethane provides the best value to the city, and I recommend awarding the contract to Brazos for the amount of $281,999.40. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that the Commission may have.
Thank you, Jack. Commissioners, do we have any questions of Mr. Harrelson?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I'm glad to see that they were so very close, those three, that we did decide to go local. I think that there's a lot of huge benefits for that, so I'm surprised, I'm glad to see that.
And yes, ma'am, and it wasn't just that, but Brazos also, it's we had, like I said, we had to dig a little further into the bid, and it was the schedule as well. They were half the time that the next lowest person was, and that being a rental facility, we figured that, hey, that's a big point as far as the award goes. But
Good
yes,
job
ma'am.
looking into all that, Jack.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
For this item, just for the record purposes, a lot of the packet, it says Showboat Theater, but on the resolution itself, it's gonna say Showboat Pavilion/Theater, just because on our website, and I believe Google, it calls it Showboat Pavilion, just so that it's, all bases are covered.
Thank you for that clarification. Showboat Pavilion is the actual facility. It used to be the Showboat Theater. Many years ago, it was restored and remodeled into our current event center, Showboat Pavilion. Thank you for that. Any other questions, Commissioners? What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Bowie to approve, seconded by Commissioner Clark. All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, Jack. At this time, we will consider and take action on ordinance number 2025-03, permanently rezone .5691 acres located at property 2107 24th Street North from District A, single-family residential, to District B, single-family attached duplex residential. We'll hear from our city engineer, Ms. Kim Golden.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. So this is the final step in the rezoning process. You know, the rezoning starts with the zoning commission. They have a hearing in front of the zoning commission after they mail out notices to adjacent property owners. Then it comes to you all. We advertise that meeting. You all consider it, and you give it preliminary zoning approval at that meeting. They then have 12 months in which to pull a building permit. And then we bring it back to you as an ordinance, and that's this step, is to bring it back to you as the ordinance. And this is where the zoning is actually made final, and it will change the zoning map for this property. And so this particular property is located at 2107 24th Street North. It's a little bit over a half-acre lot, and it was changed from District A single family to District B, which is still single family, but it allows the attached duplexes. And so that's what was constructed on it, was a duplex.
All right, thank you for that. Commissioners, any questions on this particular agenda item?
Yes, Ms. Golden, it's just a duplex.
Yes,
It's just a little, yeah, there's a duplex next door to it already.
there was already duplexes in the area, yes. And it was already Zone B. The adjacent property was already a Zone B.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion has been made by Commissioner Sharp to approve this item, seconded by Commissioner Bowie. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Item C, we consider and take action on the first reading of ordinance number 2025-04, amending Texas City Code of Ordinances, Section 155, to add kiosk signs and available sign. Again, from our city engineer, Ms. Kim Golden.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioners, this is an ordinance that we're bringing to you all. This is the first reading, so it's the introduction, and we're changing the existing sign ordinance so that it will allow us to have in Texas City these kiosk signs in our right-of-way. And this is setting up what the criteria will be for those signs, what size they can be, how they'll be placed, and how it will be managed through the city. The reason we're doing this is we have had some recent enforcement actions on the what we call the bandit signs that home builders use, which they go out and they put all these signs everywhere to try and get, help folks find the new developments. Well, we certainly want them to be able to find the new developments, but we want it to be done in an orderly way that looks nice and has a nice aesthetic. And so that's what this is setting up, is to be able to do that.
Commissioners, do you have any questions of Ms. Golden?
I think it's a great idea.
Like
I like it,
consistency,
yeah.
motion to approve.
A second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Garza to approve this first reading. Are we doing first reading, or are we doing away with all three of the readings on this one?
This is the first reading. It'll
This is
come
the
back
first
to you
reading.
in
That's
two
what's
more
on.
times.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And has been seconded by Commissioner Love. Any further discussion? All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Golden. At this time, we're up to regular item 8D, to consider and take action on ordinance number 2025-05, approving a budget amendment and authorizing the payment to Galveston County Appraisal District for the annual property appraisal for the city of Texas City. We hear from our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Cynthia Rushing.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. Every year, we are assessed a fee from the Galveston County Appraisal District, where they provide a service where they appraise all of the property in the city of Texas City. And so, as you see here, I've provided a history from fiscal year 2022 to current. And so you see the amount that we've budgeted for has been $264,000 for the past 3 years. And for this year, our allocation for the Galveston County Appraisal District is $349,000, leaving a shortfall of $85,284. So I am requesting for your consideration and action to provide a budget amendment for the difference, which is the amount of $85,284.93.
Any questions, Commissioners? Ms. Rushing?
Why the significant change, I wonder? Did they tell you?
So I would suspect the reason for the increase is due to the appraised value of our property. So I asked the question as to, what's the formula that you're using to calculate what our fee is? And it wasn't clear to me, but it was that this is how it's always been, and it's been approved. And so I just said, okay. But I can go back and ask for the actual calculation in terms of the formula and what they use it, how they apply it. But I think it's driven by the appraised value.
Thank you.
So I guess on our next budget, we're gonna budget more.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I want to know what the formula is, so that we can actually calculate it, do a back of the envelope calculation, so that we can do a better job in budgeting. As you see, our budget was just pretty much a rollover based on the previous year. And so for FY26, we'll basically have a calculation to do a better job of the estimation.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Sharp to approve, seconded by Commissioner Knoxon. All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Rushing. This time, we will consider and take action on resolution number 2025-16, where we will review the approval of submission of grant application for FY 2025 Homeland Security Program. We'll hear from a representative from Community Development Grants Administration, Ms. Patricia Mata.
Hello, Commissioners.
Hello.
Mayor. The item before you is to consider submitting an application for grant funds to purchase a new SWAT vehicle for Tech City PD. If you have any questions about the SWAT vehicle, I have Officer Martinez here that may answer some of the questions you may have.
And Shives and Martinez, okay, thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions about this particular program?
Is the maintenance on this vehicle any different than the maintenance on the other vehicles?
This one's gonna be a diesel.
Okay, but that's it. It's the diesel, that's the only difference.
That's the only maintenance difference, yes.
Okay.
How old is the current vehicle that you have now?
We got it in 2008, so it's 17 years old.
What's the average amount of time should should a police department have that vehicle?
I'm not sure what the average is, but most armors anywhere from 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
I put in there some of the utilizations that we use it for. We use it for high-risk search warrants, narcotic warrants, hostage rescues, recruiting events, agency assist. We recently used it to assist the U.S. Marshals on a high-risk murder warrant, the DEA's on a cartel hit. We could use it for high water rescue, public relations events. We've done several events at University of Houston Clear Lake with it. We do youth and government with the kids. We did another event for, I think it's another event we had over at the Nestler Center for the kids. Civil unrest for riots. Just in 2024, Texas City alone had 498 weapons-related offenses in our city. That's almost 2 a day. So it's not a matter of if, but when we're going to encounter gunfire. 2025, we've already had 61, so we're on pace to have about the same this year. I attached the price and a picture of the back. I think what the grant is what we're asking for is just permission to apply for the grant. And what the grant does is, once we get the grant, the city will front the money and be reimbursed within 12 to 24 months. Be reimbursed the money. And we would use our old one as a backup. Our old one, it does operate, but it is in and out of the shop a lot. The battery light's always on it. The check engine light's always on. Windshield wipers don't work. We've replaced the glass on it at least once since I've been on the team since 2017. We've already replaced the glass one time, and it's already rebubbled back up. The windshield wipers don't work. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff on it that's starting to go out.
How many members of our SWAT team do we have right now?
Right now we have 13. We were set to have another tryout on the 20, whatever the day the snow came.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 6 more trying out, so that would have put us over our max, which our policy says we can have up to 18.
Last thing we need is a SWAT vehicle, which is used in the most critical of times to not be fully operable. And so I appreciate the initiative that you guys are taking to try to replace this vehicle with grant funds. Again, commissioners, once again, this is a resolution only to approve us to apply for the grant, so that if it's awarded, we'll front that money and then be reimbursed. Any other questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Knoxon to approve this resolution and seconded by Commissioner Clark. All in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you very much. All right, this time we will have commissioners' comments. Anybody has commissioners' comments, we'll start with you, Commissioner Knoxon.
Just want to say thank you all for all the work you're doing for the city. I appreciate it. I'm sure the citizens do also. And heard today we had youth and government. Unfortunately, I was unable to make it. I had to work today, but youth and government, I think for myself and the mayor, has always been a great program that we partner with the school district on. I was in youth and government in high school. That's kind of what sparked my interest to get into our local politics, local government. So I think that's a great thing that we're doing there. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Love?
I missed you all last meeting, but thank you for all the work that you did during the winter storm. I'm not a cold weather type person, but thank you for that, and I look forward to seeing everybody at the parade Saturday.
All right, Commissioner Bowie.
Just to remind everybody about the Rotary Mardi Gras Parade this Saturday, as Commissioner Love stated. The lineup begins at Carlos Garza Park, 12 noon. It will travel down Palmer Highway and then on to 6th Street. Lots of fun, lots of beats, and this time I'm gonna miss all the sewer drains, I promise.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Garza?
That's one of my favorite parades. I like that Rotary Club Mardi Gras parade. And the youth and government event was very, very nice. Y'all guys
Absolutely.
did a good job. The comments that were made after everybody exited, the kids, y'all are great. Y'all are good. The last thing is, don't forget to give blood tomorrow. I'm a firm believer in giving blood, and I think the truck is going to be in front of City Hall tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow, right? Yeah, tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Sharp?
I want to talk about youth and government today. That was remarkable. It was my first one, and these kids are amazing that we have here in Texas City. These kids are doing more right now than I've done my whole life. I mean, it is amazing how intelligent and driven these kids are and mature. And the second thing is I wanted to say, you know, I understand a lot of people don't like the new policy, but coming in here and aggressively attacking people, that's not the way. That's not the way. So,
Thank you, sir.
Well, I just want to apologize. I'm like Keith. I missed the last meeting. I had a vacation scheduled that I had scheduled way before we moved it, and I went way up to the Pacific Northwest to go play in the snow, and didn't see a bit of snow. And y'all had all the snow here. So, but yes, Barbara, you heard we already announced. I have an announcement for Barbara about the parade. So Velma's already talked about the parade on Saturday. It starts at noon.
Yeah, but the lineup's 11:15. I want everybody else to be in the parade.
You can't talk. The lineup's at 11:15, and we're lining up at Carlos Garza Park. It starts at 12, and it goes to the Showboat down Palmer Highway to the Showboat. And if you can't, they're still taking. If you want to be in it, they're still taking entries into the parade. And go watch it if you can't be in it. And also, Barbara has raffle tickets. We're, you know, as you know, Rotary does so much good with their money. So, Barbara, we have raffle tickets that we're selling. There are only 300 tickets that are being sold. They're $100 each, and you have a chance to either win $5,000, $2,500, or $1,000. And only 300 tickets are being sold. So, Miss Barbara White has tickets back there. If you'd like to buy tickets, support the Rotary, which supports our kids. So thank you all for all you do.
Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, I just have to say that I want to thank the Rotary Club for their annual sponsoring of the Youth in Government. It was a phenomenal turnout today. The students had a good time, great, intelligent students asking some awesome questions, and so many of them were just involved in so many extracurricular activities and have some great plans for the future. So another successful Youth in Government under our belt. Also wanted to say a successful kickoff to the mayor's 2025 initiative, Movement is Medicine, for those people who turned out to the first one at the Sanders Center. It's full house, everybody out there experiencing a little movement to work the calories off or whatever, doing some line dancing. We do have a lot more events coming up throughout the year relative to that initiative. Congratulations to the young firefighter and EMS tech who received EMS Staff Member of the Year because, yeah, riding in the back 600 and something times with sick people, that's not something you really look forward to on a daily basis, but that's something that crew signs up for, and they are very good at what they do, so congratulations to them. I don't have any more major announcements other than that, but I just wanted to let everybody know that we do have we will be releasing the schedule soon for Community Conversations with Mayor Johnson. That's our quarterly town hall meeting where citizens can come and hear about the great things we have going on in the city of Texas City, as well as give us commentary and ask questions or feedback about things going on in the community. So the city, we make ourselves available to you for that at that time. So stay tuned to our website for that. That's all I have. We will ask a blanket request of all city staff members. If any of you have any reports or updates to share with the community, you can do so at this time. All right.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner. Again, Mayor, I want to congratulate you on a great kickoff to your campaign for Movement is Medicine. It was well attended.
Thank you.
We've also touched on the Mardi Gras parade for this weekend. So excited to be able to collaborate with the Rotary Club with that. And we also have our father-daughter dance coming up on the 14th. It's one of our biggest indoor events, and it's a great celebration. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, be sure to get that. We are ending this month with our new initiative of adaptive recreation. We're going to host an adaptive dance. Adaptive recreation is for everyone, especially for those with special needs. So we're excited to host this at our Sanders Vincent Center on February 22nd. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much for, Nicole has a couple of things on her visionary platform that will be catering to adaptive recreation, and we're very excited about embarking on that journey. Anyone else in the city? Ms. Kristen Edwards. Ms. Kristen is our EDC Director. Oh, take your time, take your time.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. Just wanted to let y'all know that we have hired our new community events and tourism manager position, and she's been with us for a little under a month. She was made aware of the job by Ms. Gwenethia Pope, and I owe Gwenethia a favor because Jade is wonderful. She comes to us with a lot of experience from managing special events and large-scale parades in Galveston. She brings a lot of connections. For example, she already has about 13 food trucks signed up to participate in our potential grand opening of the Community Plaza on Saturday, June 21st. Date pending bad weather days from contractor. Don't hold me to that. But we're really excited about the event. We're looking at maybe doing a carnival theme for it. And she's just taking it by the reins. She's doing such a good job. So me and Ariel really love working with her. She fits wonderfully into our team. So just wanted to let y'all know, thank you for that position. Thank you for letting me move forward with hiring Jade. It's been really good.
Thank you very much. She was here earlier, but I think she had to step out.
She had to pick up her child, so that's why she couldn't be here. She wanted to be here, and she wore her special pink jacket to be here, but couldn't stay.
Mommy duties never end, I understand that. Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else?
Motion to adjourn.
We got a motion to adjourn here. All right, thank y'all very much. Have a good day. Adjourn. Give me about 5 minutes, sir, and I'll be with you. You got those things.